For those of you who are unfamiliar with Fiddlebug, Fiddlebug is a real-time scheduling tool. Now, what do I mean by real-time? Real-time is down to the minute in real-time availability, much like you can book an airline in real-time availability. You can't book an airline that doesn't fly at a particular time. You can't get a hotel that's totally non-vacant, etc. Fiddlebug is not a form. It is not a complete this form and somebody will get back to you. It literally tells the consumer, this is what we do, this is how long it takes, this is what it costs, this is when we're available, choose a time, put a deposit down, and you're done. So it's been out there for 3 years or so, utilized that way. Now we've opened the doors. Now it's a real-time scheduling tool, and let me just hang on one second here. You can't see that, so let me get to the Hangout area and share my screen. Told you something will go wrong. There you go. So now you can kind of see what we're going to talk about today, I think. Now Fiddlebug is beyond just a real-time scheduling tool that literally works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, taking orders, telling people what you do, how long it takes to do exactly what they want, when you're available to do it, and takes the order. Now we've implemented automated email notifications, kind of like the Ronco in the 70s or 80s, where you set them and forget them. Set up the notifications you want to go to who, triggered by what event. They fire out based upon that criteria. The only way they're not going to fire out is if you change them or delete them. We've also created a function that assigns a category to a truck or a person. When I say truck or person, I'm talking about a service provider. If you call it truck A, B, and C, maybe Tom's in A, Jane's in B, etc. Think of it in terms of a truck or a person. So you can assign marble to one particular truck because maybe that's the only guy that knows how to do marble, or maybe that's the only truck that has the equipment to do marble. And when somebody logs in and wants marble, it will only show their calendar. Next thing we created is point of choice information assistance. So you want to answer every question they have at the time they're thinking about you. And when they go to your Fiddlebug application and click on a major category like leather or carpet or upholstery, etc., they may have to kind of try to figure out, well, what does he mean by bronze, silver, or gold? Or what does he mean by small, medium, or large? We've built some pop-up information assistance there that you're going to see as well. We've also built what I refer to as let's hide the subcategories for special promotions. So if you want to send out a promotion to a group of people, but you don't want everybody else to know that those line items exist, you can now create special categories or subcategories under categories like free deodorizing for carpet, for upholstery cleaning, and not share that visually with everybody, yet it's still in the database that can be associated with a promotion code. I'll show you that as well. Then the last thing we recently did, which is kind of hard to show you, is the mobile ready and adaptive technology. Fiddlebug is now mobile ready. It will adapt to a iOS iPhone or an Android phone or a tablet or a PC. So depending upon what they're logging in on, it will adapt to lay out the best possible format for them to have the easiest experience utilizing that technology. So that's kind of it. I'm going to stop sharing here for a second. And you're going to be looking at me again, hopefully. Again, if anybody's having trouble reaching me, please chat. I think I have the chat functionality opened. I do have to apologize. This is the first time that I've used this type of webinar approach, and so you are guinea pigs. And somebody has to be, and might as well be you. So if you cannot see the chat functionality, please let me know. Loud and clear. Continue on. Perfect. Good. I can hear you fine. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into, let me share the screen again. And I'm going to get into the PowerPoint and then we'll go live. First of all, everybody asks me, what's the key to Fiddlebug success? And without any hesitation, I tell them, it's you. Fiddlebug, much like if somebody does an aggregating search engine for pizza in a town that they're unfamiliar with, and they list a whole bunch of pizza places in Google, and they choose one, and then they get the pizza, and the pizza sucks, do you blame Google? The answer is no. I can give you a tool. I can give you a bullet to put in your holster. If you do not tell people that you have it, it's worthless. It's like a billboard in the middle of a desert. So what is the key to making Fiddlebug work? It's telling people. And you've got to keep telling people because they need to be trained, much like the airline industry trained us to do all of our bookings online, the hotel and the banking industry followed, et cetera, et cetera. You have a huge value proposition in front of you that says to your consumers, hey, if you love us the hours that we answer our phone, 8 to 6, and tell you everything about us, now you're empowered to do it yourself. Just like you learned how to pump your own gas, you can get on with life faster. You have to tell them, though, and you can tell them in various ways. You can have links such as, and I've just screen copied a couple of these clients' websites. This is a link over to his Fiddlebug. You could have the icon of Fiddlebug. You can have call to action buttons. I've probably got 30. You can create your own. As long as I see it first, if it includes the bug for branding purposes. But all it is a call to action, a link over to your Fiddlebug application. We also do videos, and you can have videos that will help the consumer in 60 seconds understand just exactly what this tool is and how empowering it is to be able to book your services based on your time anytime they want. So we create videos as well. I'm going to show you a couple other client examples of what they've done, and then we'll move on. Here's a guy in Columbus, Ohio. He has a click here, book now and be done button. This is the same client. I wanted to point out he also on the left-hand side has another call to action button that says we've made it super easy. You can book your cleaning, blah, blah, blah. So you can have whatever you want on any page that you want, and you should also have it on other sites that you market. So if you're doing any Angie's List, if you're doing any Yelp, if you're doing any Google, if you're doing anything beyond your website, such as this example of Yelp, you should be promoting it there as well, because that's where people are going to look for carpet cleaning. This particular client of ours has a link over that says you're going to get 15% off when you put in Go Yelp, click here, and they do. So the key is you can't just bullet market, and I think you all know that with regards to the web. You have to spread it out. And what does it cost to spread it out? Not a whole heck of a lot. You're really not spending any more money than you're doing right now to shotgun approach your marketing. You're just changing the message. You're just saying now you can call or do it yourself at your convenience, based upon our real-time availability and what you want. So I wanted to show you a couple of examples. And what happens when you do that? This is the previous slide. This guy, Zimp Carpet Cleaning. This is actually a recent review, I don't know, gosh, less than 2 weeks ago, talking about the experience. And let me just refresh what she said. We were looking to get our carpets cleaned before we listed the house. It was so easy to schedule with Zimp. The real-time scheduling was easy and painless. The next day we got a call. That's the kind of reviews you want. That's the empowerment you want to give mom. She makes 80% of the decisions in a household. The average household uses 20% of the average houses in America use a professional carpet cleaner. She makes 80% of the decisions. The average ticket across the country for carpet cleaning is around $200. There are a grand total. I did the math when I started thinking of this concept. And the opportunity to empower this woman or any woman like her that already uses the internet, already gets carpet cleaning by a professional carpet cleaner, and knows how to use the internet, is literally, I think it's $3.7 billion nationally, that no one is really empowering her to have a real-time relationship like the other industries have figured out. So I'll talk about that more later offline if you want. Just drop me a line. So anyway, that's not all. Now we want to get in, and I want to show you the functionality. But I'm going to go back to the chat. I want to make sure everybody's still logged in, still having no problem hearing, and so forth. Okay. Let's see here. Let me minimize that. And you should be looking at me again. Still good, people? I guess so. Let me know if I'm not, or if I'm going too fast, or if you have a question, feel free to type it in. I will try to get to them all. All right, let's start looking at the product. I'm going to screen share again. Let's see here. Sorry for that confusion. That's just part of this tool. So, okay, you should be looking at the demo site, demo.fiddlebug.com. It starts out by when somebody is linked over to that that site, or it would be yourcompany.fiddlebug.com, they put in their zip code. I'm going to give you a very brief tour, first of all, of how this process works. Then we're going to get into those bullets of functionality, the automated email, etc. I have a tendency to talk a little bit faster than most people. I have a tendency to get a little bit more excited sometimes. So let me know if you're having difficulty. I'm excited about these new rollouts, though. The one thing I want you to know is this is a demo site. This will be your brand up here. It'll say Jack's Carpet Cleaning, or whatever the banner is you want it to say. You can have anything you want in here, describe, verbiage or whatever. Now you have the ability to have a video in there as well. So literally right at the point where they're looking at what they need to do, they could click this video, and I'll do it just to give you an example. And up pops up a window of a video we created.
How easy it is to book an airline ticket or a hotel? Well, it's that easy to book your carpet, upholstery, or tile cleaning with Courtesy Care. Now, work with us on your time. Anytime it's convenient for you, night or day.
So that's an example of what we created in a video, and we can personalize them for your company. You can have that over here. You could have that over here. You could have it on your Facebook page. You could have it on wherever you want and point to it. The consumer, though, is going to go over here and see all the categories that you created. Again, this is just an example. It could be anything. It could be boat cleaning. It could be anything. For example, if they clicked on carpet, you could have small, medium, and large. If they clicked on upholstery, it could be wet cleaning, dry cleaning. If they clicked on tile, it could be various square footages. And these are all controlled by you. You call them what you want to call them. Then the consumer is just going to go in and say, okay, I want to have the two kids' rooms cleaned. I want to have them both protected. And these, again, are controlled by you. It might be clean, protect, deodorize, anti-allergen, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe they only want one deodorized. And then they could say, oh, and I also want a little bit of tile cleaned, and it will total it all up. The consumer at that point has the chance to save the quote and come back to it at a different time by logging back in and viewing her saved quotes or his saved quotes, or starting over. But after they've chosen what they want and seen the cost and the applicable taxes, if there is any, they'll click Schedule Now. Now, when they click Schedule Now, a lot of stuff disappears and just tells them what they want to see. How long is the appointment duration? Based upon the numbers that you put in. If we go back, we'll notice that it's an hour and 56 minutes. If we go back and change the selected service to both rooms, or rather 2 tile jobs, it's now 2 hours and 56 minutes. Then the consumer will look and see when you're available and when you're not. They can click a week ahead. They can go a month ahead. But they'll decide to pick a time, click Continue, and register, i.e. tell you who they are, and they must put in their email. And let me reiterate something here about this tool. When you have their email through this process, They could move 5 times as long as they keep their email. If somebody physically moves their house, you have to find out where they went, or they have to tell you. But if they move their house, they normally don't move their email. So a lot of people like to hang on to the emails much longer than they do houses. If they already have an account, they just log in. They could have numerous service addresses. It could be a summer home, or if they're a property manager, they could have multiple properties. But anyway, they'll just choose one. They could have multiple billing addresses as well. We'll just choose the default. And then it will recap, and it will tell them what they are purchasing, the service address, the billing address. They can type in a note if they want, and then they'll submit the order. When they submit the order, it'll take them over to the payment information area, where they will put in their credit card information. And if, assuming the credit card is good, it will go through, we use PayPal Pro, process to make sure and drop that deposit into your account and come back and give her a confirmation and a confirmation order. And then at that exact same time that she just purchased from you, it tells her how to save money on her next purchase. And we'll get into the SAFE program in a little bit. But that's how easy it is to purchase. She just got this email notified to her as well as you did. That's the core of what Fiddlebug does. Now let's get into the intricacies. Let's go back. Go ahead and sign out again. Go back to the home page. Log in with the zip code, which was, by the way, if they log in with a zip code that you don't service, it will tell them you don't service that area. Let's start with the point of choice information assistance, since we're on the consumer side. When they hover over one of these information icons, I'm about to over carpet, up pops up a box. This box could have anything you want. I made the type smaller and larger, and I created links just to give you an example. But you can, this is HTML. You can literally copy something from your web page, post it in, and have it displayed to give her, the consumer, a better explanation of what it is you mean by gold, silver, bronze, if that's the case, or what it is that the differences between different types of leather. Maybe you want to pop up, pictures of different types of leather to help them understand which one to choose. Maybe you want to pop up your process of cleaning to help them understand your value proposition. The reason we built this is because right at this exact time that somebody's thinking, you might want to be able to just capture them right then and there and tell them why they should pick you for upholstery. This is an example of, when I hover over the upholstery, an embedded video, okay? You can also have videos on this side. So this can be very, very powerful. And again, I'll show you how that gets put in. I'm going to stop 1 second here, and I'm going to go back to the Hangout area. My apologies. There we go. Oops. All right, I'm going to stop the screen sharing. I just want to know if you guys have any questions right now. Anybody have a question? All right, I assume everything's going okay. I'm going to go back to screen sharing. All right, now you should be looking at the demo screen again. Now let's get into the administration side. The difference between the consumer and the administration side is you will add an admin on the back, and when you do, you're given a username and a password that only you can get in to change your program. When you log in, it'll first show you the appointment calendar of any of the appointments that you might have. Those colors are designated by the number of providers that you may have. In this instance, we have 4. John, Steve, Tom, and Sally, each represented with different colors, okay? So you'll be able to, at a glance in Fiddlebug, see who's going where, and when. Now, the other thing I want you to know is that we also tie into Service Monster. So if you have Service Monster to run your carpet cleaning company or your company, because this was not built just for carpet cleaners, then you can map up the Service Monster routes with the Fiddlebug providers, so that when a job in Fiddlebug is booked for Tim in the South truck, it automatically gets updated within seconds to Service Monster, creates the account, creates the order, and populates your internal calendar in Service Monster in the South route. And you can set priorities of who gets the first job, second, and third if there are conflicts of time. So all of the information is put in on the back side here. The states and the zip codes. You can put in zip codes by importing them in bulk or individually putting them in. And each zip code can have its own unique tax rate. It can have its own unique travel time, and you can also assign a zip code to a specific truck. So let's say you had 4 trucks. Each truck went a different direction, north, south, east, and west. You could assign all the north trucks to Johnny, all the south to Tim, and all the east to spare truck 1, and all the west to spare truck 2. Individually, you can assign the zip codes. While I'm here, we also built in a functionality called a hidden charge. Now, what that is when somebody logs in with a zip code that has a hidden charge, like $20, it will increase the price of whatever you put in for the line item until the $20 is all taken. For example, 601 has a $20 hidden charge. If I logged in, chose one service that was normally $100, it's now $120. If I chose 2 services, one that was $50 and one that was $60, now respectively they are $60 and $70. So until that $20 is recouped, it will increase the cost of the items that are spread out over the items that are chosen. Why did we do this? It allows you now to expand your territory, to recoup gas costs, mileage costs, labor costs to get there, without the consumer thinking that they are being considered the stepchild and that they're being charged more for your services than the guy right next door. They have no idea that it's actually an increase on the back end. They're either going to accept the price or they're not going to accept the price online. And you can have different hidden charges for every zip code that you want. Okay. All right. You go in then and tell people what categories you want by putting them in. Here's where it starts getting interesting. I told you that you could have mouse overs. This is an example of the mouse over for carpet. Okay. All it is pasted in HTML. And then you can also assign categories to trucks as well. So we can assign zip codes to trucks or people. We can also assign a category to a truck or a person. And in this instance, we have carpet assigned to 2 trucks. So when somebody chooses carpet, it's only going to show the spare truck 1 and spare truck 2's calendar of availability, because these guys don't do it. Well, it's a little stupid analysis, because everybody does carpet, but think of it in terms of marble or wood. Okay. Okay, so you can have as many categories as you want. The next thing you do is you put in what you do to those categories: clean, protect, deodorize. Maybe you polish and hone marble. Maybe you want to have something called intensive clear. Maybe you have recoat. Maybe you have anti-fogging. These are all the services that you provide to those categories. And then you have to tell the people what it is to choose. You can have them choose by square foot and describe it as a small room or a small area rug. You can have it described as a square footage. However you want to describe it, you can. Okay, so let's now get into, because this is really more functionality of setup, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this, so I apologize. Now what I want to do is show you the first item on the bullet point from the PowerPoint, which is notifications. When you click on notifications, we have put a couple in there for you as default. which are the welcome email and the order confirmation. But you can create additional notifications yourself by clicking on Add New Record. When you do that, you can give it a name. Let's say we wanted to send it out 9 months after each event, after every cleaning. Like say you just cleaned their thing today. You want to send it out 9 months after the appointment date. Okay, and you can even apply it to existing orders, i.e. go back 9 months. So 9 months tomorrow will be applied. Or if you don't check that box, it's not going to apply until 9 months from then. So basically under this scenario, you're probably going to click that. And then you would make the timing of it 0 minutes before or after, really doesn't matter, the appointment date. I'm sorry, not 0 minutes, my mistake. Timing would be 9 months after the appointment date. And you want to send it to the user, not to all users. Those are all your clients. Okay. And maybe you want to send one to yourself as well. So you could add yourself. Come on. If I wanted to have it sent to me as well, I could add it. So now not only is it going to go to every 9 months after the appointment to remind them, the user, but I'm also going to get a copy. Now you would be an admin, so you could also check that as well. A provider could be also send it to the guy's truck, who's in truck 2, who serviced this. So you could do that as well. Then you just give it a a subject, just like you would any other email, and maybe it's 9 months review, and then you just put your information in here. Now you can cut and paste HTML. A lot of guys have Service Monster. They've been using Service Monster to fire out emails, and they've been doing it. They've been having to go in and do it manually. Well, you can go in and grab that code from Service Monster or MailChimp or iContact or any of the other programs that you have, and copy that code into here by clicking this HTML, right click, and then paste the code in, and then you'll be able to see the design. You can do the standard rich text editing functionality of cutting and pasting and paragraphing and indenting and bolding, underline, etc. Change the font, change the color of the text, change the background color. You can have hyperlinks. You can even upload images. So that if I wanted to upload an image for this, and use it in this particular email notification like this one, I could just pop that in there and then just type away. And then I can also embed tokens. So if I wanted to say, dear John Smith, by embedding this token exactly as is, it will pull the data into this particular email, and for every single one of the users 9 months after each appointment. Okay, so you can have first name, last name, company name, the order number, the order date, the order time. Order details tells them everything that they purchased prior. You want to be a little careful with that, depending on who you're sending it to. But you could also have, the start time, end time, logo, and masthead. So you can create unlimited email notifications once, and they will fire out until you tell them not to. And then all you do is save it. Now you'll notice that we had 2 templates down here. We will be adding additional templates. If I wanted to load a template, all I would do is click on the one I want to load, and it would then populate the functionality up here of that particular template. Okay. And then from there, you can change whatever it is you want to change. So we're going to be creating templates. They're not going to be designed specifically for you. You're going to have to tweak them, but they are kind of the basics. And the basics right now are the order information that gets fired out to the consumer, and maybe a follow-up email we call SAFE. It's an acronym for Save a Friend Effort. Okay? Okay. So that is notifications. Let me get over to here and see if anybody has any questions. Can the videos go on the website or just Fiddlebug? No, the videos can go anywhere, and they should go anywhere. I'd keep the video in YouTube and just point to it. Embed the embed code. How does the schedule determine times? You determine the times, Chuck. Let me give you an example. We'll go over here and say, I want to call my medium carpet cleaning, which is 226 to 400, view services. To clean it right now, it takes $40. It costs $40, takes 28 minutes, but I could edit that and change it to 35 minutes and $45. This means that it's active to the consumer to see. And if you wanted to, you could even embed customized pricing per quantity by clicking that box. So instead of it being 45, 90, 135, maybe it's 45, 85, 120, etc. So you can either, if you want to give them quantity discounts, you can do it at this level, but I personally would do it on the promotion level because people like to think they're getting something for value by putting in a promo code, and that's where I would suggest you do it. Okay. Did that answer your question, Chuck? Hope so. Oh, Chuck, you set those times. Thank you, Brandon. Let's see here. Can the videos go on our website? Yes, loud and clear. Okay, so I'm going to get back to the admin, talk about some of the other functionalities. I briefly showed you the automated email notifications. I want to make sure that I'm still screen sharing. Yes, I am. So I talked about the notifications. I talked about assigning any category to a truck or a person, and you do that when you're setting up your categories. Like right now, if we click on upholstery, if you remember correctly, had a video embedded in here. That video, okay? And that came from right there. And all I did was go into YouTube, go to the video that I wanted to embed, click on share, click on embed, copy the code, paste it in there, and boom. You can also rearrange the order of your category. So if you wanted to make this third or fourth, you could do that. Now I could also say, and the only guy that does upholstery is Tim. Now, when somebody goes over here and says, I want a love seat done, it's only going to share Tim's calendar of availability. So most of the time, your core products, carpet upholstery, everybody's going to do. Every truck's going to be able to do it. But maybe air duct cleaning or leather cleaning or marble or something like that. Or if you have a residential service, maybe it's a different truck or a different group of people. You can assign the category to a unique service provider for that. Okay, you're not limited to the number of service providers or trucks that you can have. Okay, it looks like you guys are answering your own questions. It's hard for me to see here, but I think so. Can the videos go to the video should go everywhere. Okay, so we talked about email notifications. We talked about assigning trucks. I talked about point of choice information assistance, i.e. the mouse over, helping them to understand what to choose. Now let me share with you the hidden subcategories and promotions. And then we'll start wrapping it up because I could talk for hours on this. The real key to know if it's going to work for you is to see it one-on-one. Allow me to go in on an individual basis, talk with you, take you to a live account, share with you how it works. And in 20, 30 minutes at the max, you'll have a very clear understanding if this is something for you, if you don't already. Okay, so I want to show you the hidden categories or hidden categories. So if we go here to subcategories, you'll see a column called admin only. If it's admin only false, that means it's available to all the consumers to see. If it's admin only true, that means only the admin can see it. So let's see if that holds true. It looks like AirDuct 14 and 15 are only available for the admin to view. Let's go to the consumer side. Click on AirDuct cleaning. And you'll see 14 and 15 are missing. Okay. Why is that important? Because what if I wanted to create a promotion that was tied to a hidden category like free deodorizer? So as an admin, I could log in to this side, and this particular account is an admin. I could log in. Now I'm logged into the consumer side as an admin, and you'll see that I can see 13 and 14, okay? So I might want to create a, 14 special to where you can get 14, and this is probably a stupid example because normally you're going to want to give away like free deodorizer and so forth. But literally, you go in as an admin on the consumer side, save the quote, give it a name, and then when you're on the admin side and logged in as the same admin, and you go to promotions, you can add a promotion and tie it to a specific service that you just saved, like name. So now I can create this promotion wrapped around my saved quote, which is giving away free deodorizer that nobody can see as a general consuming public unless they know the code Steve. And you send out your promotions via email, via, whatever, postcard, however you market your own company. But you can create promotions tied to fixed dollars off percentages or tied to saved quotes. The other thing you can do is deal of the day type programs for those of you who like those, where you can literally run your promotion, grab the codes that they sent to you in an Excel spreadsheet, and the instructions are over here, paste them in here, and it will generate individual codes based around or individual promotions based around those codes tied to a specific service that has a zero cost because maybe Groupon already collected the money. But the key here is that you can say, hey, while you're here, after you bought the normally $80 special for $40 and Groupon kept 20 and sent you 20, but when they went to book it online, you could say, while you're here, we're going to give you another 10% off anything else you want to purchase that you do not share with Groupon or any other deal of the day type program. And you can now also, some of you may not be familiar with this, you can also set the number of uses for any particular promotion. It could be a one-time only use, it could be unlimited, or you could set it to a particular number. Like say, for example, I wanted to set it, the first 15 people who put in promo Steve are going to get this promotion. And lastly, a couple things, you can override your minimum. This program has a minimum. You set it. If you set it for 150 bucks, nobody's going to be able to book anything less than 150 bucks. They can, but they're going to pay 150 bucks. But you can override that scheduled minimum if you want in the promotion area. And then, of course, you can put an expiration date to have it just fall off the table at a particular date. Okay, I'm going to go back to see if there's any questions here. Good to go. Anyone? Can the video? Okay, yeah, I got that one. Okay. Okay. Let's see. That's kind of, I could talk forever on this, guys, but that's kind of what I wanted to share. These are brand new functionality of the Fiddlebug program. We've tried to empower the consumer to be able to have a better experience by allowing mouse overs for information. We've made it such that you can control all the information on this side, and I really didn't show that, through the Manage Messages area. If I want to change the video on the right-hand intro side, I literally can go in and just edit it and put a different video or put whatever I want in there. You can change all the you can change about 98% of the language in the Fiddlebug experience. Some of it is hard-coded because of order detail information and so forth, but you have the ability to change darn near all of it. Okay. Okay. That's what I wanted to share. I just wanted to share the new stuff. I don't want to bore everybody with this webinar on all the integral details of Fiddlebug, other than to suggest to you this. If I were in your shoes, I'd be asking myself a couple of questions. One, will my clients, will my prospects, more importantly, will my prospects appreciate the ability to work with me on their time, based on my time, anytime it's convenient for them? And I think the answer is yes. Ask your wife if she appreciates not having to call the airlines anymore to book the airlines for the family vacation. It's really a simple question. Then the question becomes, I've had lots of people literally ask me, why would I want to put my pricing online? And I said, well, maybe because if you don't, you can't play. Illinois, here in Illinois, they have a lotto thing that says you got to play to win. That's kind of the way it is with the internet. If Southwest Airlines wants to compete with United Airlines, they got to tell you what they cost. People aren't stupid. In today's world, they can very, very easily do an aggregating search engine by going to Google and saying, tell me everybody in Houston, gosh, if I could spell, Houston carpet. Sorry. Houston carpet cleaning. And it will list a whole bunch of services. If you're not anywhere in here, you're done in the future. And if you're built, in my humble opinion, and I apologize if this offends anybody, but in my humble opinion, if you're building your company around the clients you used to build it around, trying to attract the older, richer folks only, you're done. You need to start concentrating on millennials. Who are millennials? 16 to 35, I think, is the range. Why is that important? They built all of this stuff. They understand how it works and use it on a daily basis. And they are moving into the cash position. I've seen studies that suggest in 3 to 4 years, they're going to have more purchasing power than baby boomers. What that basically means is they're going to control a lot of what happens in the United States. And if they want to be found and be able to go online and search and find you, and you're not there, you're done. And by done, I mean this. Go try sell your company to somebody who looks at your client base and says, well, but they're all old and retiring or moving. They're not interested in buying it. You need to start moving your business towards the younger generation. I'm not saying specifically all of it, but you've got to start developing a game plan to reach these types of people. And let me tell you, they work weird hours. I've seen bookings for $1,300 carpet cleaning at 2 in the morning. I've seen the most bizarre things. We traced an IP address back to Microsoft headquarters at noon for a booking in Seattle. So all I'm saying is, and this doesn't have anything to do with Fiddlebug. Well, in a way it does, because Fiddlebug helps you reach these people. Start concentrating on how you can reach these people. I'm going to go back and stop screen sharing here and force you to look at my ugly face. So, okay. Randy says, I like that people like to click things and it makes it easy for them to upsell themselves. And they do. That is absolutely correct. Let me give you a perfect scenario. Client in Wisconsin. If anybody knows Wisconsin, it's not exactly sprawling with, shall we say, huge populations in too many cities. Anyway, he did a deal of the day, a Groupon. Like it or not, it's his choice. He did it. It was essentially $30 or $40 to get what he was offering in Groupon. Then he drove them to book online. One guy put in his code, it zeroed out the cost, allocated the time because he had already paid Groupon, and upsold himself, much like Randy's talking about, on his time without pressure, $350 more. Think about it. Most people don't want you coming into their house to do 20 minutes worth of work when they have 2 to 3 hours worth of need. So give them the opportunity. Don't force yourself to go back twice. Don't force them to be available twice. Empower them to have the relationship that they would have if they called you. The only difference is Fiddlebug's an employee that's never going to bitch and moan about healthcare. It's never going to ask for a raise beyond the functionality of which you secure when you get it. We're going to be adding to it. We might be charging more. But you've got a person that will work for you for $200 a month around the clock, telling your clients what you do, and now empowering them to visually see videos and links at the time that they're choosing services, and book themselves and save themselves time. That help? All right. Okay, guys, I had fun. We might have had a couple of technical snafus, but such is life. And maybe next time I have this, my goatee will have grown in a little bit more. In the meantime, I want to let you know that if you have any questions at all, and I'm just going to take you one more time to the screen share, go to businessbridge.com. BusinessBridge is the corporate name if you're unfamiliar with that. You can actually play with the demo if this is the first time you've ever seen it. You can get your review features. You can even watch a bunch of videos. You can see what other people think about us. Lastly, if you do have Service Monster, on the right-hand side, somewhere around here, where is it? Oh, here. This is information on the relationship with Service Monster. If you click the read more, you can literally watch a video I created on that experience. That works slick, my friends. If you have both Service Monster and Fiddlebug, all you're doing is working. You're not worrying. You're not paying administrators to do anything because the consumer becomes your administrator. Again, we haven't answered all the questions you may have with regards to online functionality and efficiency, but Fiddlebug is getting closer and closer to making it a seamless process, especially with the tie-in of Service Monster. Do you have to have Service Monster? Absolutely not. You can start without it, and then as soon as you get it, we can tie it in. Or if you never get it, don't worry about it. So that's it. Let me get back to here, stop screen sharing, and just somebody's calling me. But anyway, you should be looking at me. Thank you all so much. The number here is 630-444-2000. It can be found at businessbridge.com. My name is Steve Mastio. I'm the creator and the guy that pays for it all. So tell your friends. If you think it's empowering now, wait till you see when we roll out these new features. So unless I have any other questions in the next 15, 20 seconds, we're done. So I'll hang out and wait to see if anybody just type something to let me know you're typing. Wow, I must have been good. All right. Terrific, folks. Thank you so much. And Shortly after, you'll get an email of a link to the replay of this, should you wish to watch it again or forward it on to someone else. All right, take care and thanks for your time.